Yes, good morning, students. Yesterday, we discussed parallel lines. If the two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal, and two lines are perpendicular to each other, then the product of these slopes is equals to -1. We proved these two theorems, and one problem is also another problem, right? Find the equation of the line passing through 3, 5 and parallel to x-axis or horizontal line. Find the equation of the line passing through 3, 5 and parallel to x-axis. X-axis is the horizontal line or horizontal line. So here passing through the point is given, that is x1, y1 is given 3, 5. Yesterday we discussed if two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. For example, this is the coordinate axis, so this is the x-axis. The required line is parallel to x-axis like this. Required line is parallel to x-axis, so passing through the point 3, 5. So what is the slope of the x-axis? 0. Slope of the x-axis m is equal to 0. Yesterday we proved slope of the x-axis is, that is the slope of the horizontal line is 0. So this required line is parallel to x-axis means the slope of x-axis is equal to slope of the required line. If two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. That's why this line slope is also m is equal to 0. These two lines are parallel, then their slopes are equal. We know the slope of x-axis, that is 0. That's why the slope of required line is also 0. So the equation of the line, so slope m is equal to 0. Since parallel to x-axis, this means parallel to x-axis. Y minus y1 is equals to m into x minus x1. Y minus y1 is equals to, slope, the passing through the point, slope and point form. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. That is y minus 5 is equal to 0 into x minus 3. 0 into anything is 0. Then you get y minus 5 is equal to 0. You get y is equal to 5. This is the equation of the line passing through 3, 5 and parallel to x-axis. From this, what we observed, this 5 is in the given point y1. This 5 is from the given point y1. That means in general case, any line which is parallel to x-axis passing through x1, y1. Any line parallel to x-axis passing through x1, y1 is y is equals to y1. This is the general point. So not using this formula, directly you can write the equation of the line parallel to x-axis passing through 1, 2. The equation of the line parallel to x-axis passing through 1, 2 is y is equal to 2. That's enough. Y is equal to constant means parallel to x-axis. The line parallel to x-axis. This is the general case. Here you write note. After this problem, you write note. In general, the equation of the line, the equation of the line passing through x1 y1 and parallel to x-axis is y is equals to y1. This is the general form. The equation of the line passing through x1 y1 and parallel to x-axis is y is equal to y1. Always remember, y is equal to constant is given. This line is always parallel to x-axis. Like that, for example, if a line passing through x1 y1, find the equation of the line passing through 3, 5 and parallel to y-axis. Parallel to y-axis or vertical line. For example, this problem is given, right? Find the equation of the line passing through 3, 5. Find the equation of the line passing through 3, 5 and parallel to y-axis. And parallel to y-axis or vertical line. Parallel to a vertical line. Vertical line means y-axis. Here point is given, x1 y1 is given 3, 5. In the same way, this is the coordinate axis, this is the y-axis. The required line is like this, passing through 3, 5 and parallel to y-axis. So what is the y-axis slope? Infinity. Yesterday we proved what is the y-axis slope? Infinity. So these two lines are parallel. So if the lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. That's the slope of this line is also m is equals to infinity. Slope m is equals to infinity. That is, using this formula, y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. That is, y minus 5 is equal to m. Infinity means something by 0. Infinity means something by 0 into x minus 3. Then cross multiplication, 0 into this, you get 0. Then you get x minus 3 is equal to 0. That is, x is equal to 3. Something by 0. Then cross multiplication, this is 0 here. Something into x minus 3 is equal to 0. That is, x minus 3 is equal to 0. Directly take x minus 3 is equal to 0. For example, here some 1 is there. 1 is not equal to 0. That's why x minus 3 is equal to 0. Like that. 2 is there. 2 by 0. 2 into x minus 3 is equal to 0. 2 is not equal to 0. For example, in mathematics, AB is equal to 0 means either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0 or both are equal to 0. But here something is not equal to 0. That's why x minus B is equal to compulsory 0. For example, A is not equal to 0, compulsory B is equal to 0. If A is equal to 0, sometimes B is not equal to 0. Like that. In the way, here something value is there, this value not equal to 0. That's why compulsory x minus 3 is equal to 0. That's why x is equal to 3. This is the line which is parallel to y-axis. This is the line which is parallel to y-axis. That's why in general, note, in general, the equation of the line passing through x1 y1 passing through x1 y1 and parallel to y-axis, and parallel to y-axis is x is equal to x1. Here what is x1? 3. That's why x is equal to 3. The equation of the line passing through x1 y1 and parallel to y-axis is x is equal to x1. The equation of the line parallel to x-axis passing through x1 y1 is y is equal to y1. So y is equal to constant is given. That line is always parallel to x-axis. X is equal to a constant is given. The line is always parallel to y-axis. These are all basics in geometry. You remember that these all basics. The geometry is very easy. Next, theorem. Next theorem. Find, right statement, find angle between two non-vertical, find angle between two non-vertical lines which are intersect. Find the angle between two non-vertical lines which are intersect. For example, in a plane, this is a line and this is another line. Both are intersecting. If the two lines are intersecting at one point, for example, P, so this theta here, theta is the angle between the two lines. For example, this is phi. Phi is also angle between the two lines. Theta and phi both are angle between the two lines. For example, one is acute angle between the two lines and another is obtuse angle between the two lines. For example, this theta plus phi is a total 180 degrees. That is angle on a straight line. So theta plus phi is 180 degrees. For example, theta is equal to some 60 degrees. The remaining 120 degrees is phi. That means theta 60 degrees is acute angle and phi is obtuse angle. But if two lines are intersecting, the angle between the two lines, we get two angles. One is acute angle between the two lines and another is obtuse angle between the two lines. How to prove this? How to find out the formula? Yes, write proof. First draw this figure. Here this is the coordinate axis. L1 is the one line and L2 is the another line. L1 is the one straight line and L2 is the another straight lines. Both lines are non-vertical lines. Both lines are non-vertical lines. They are intersecting at a point P. They are intersecting at a point P. Here theta is the angle between the two lines and phi is also angle between the two lines. One angle is acute angle and another angle is obtuse angle. One angle is acute angle and another angle is obtuse angle. Consider L1 is the line which makes an angle alpha in the positive direction of x-axis. L2 is the line which makes an angle beta in the positive direction of x-axis. And theta is the angle between the two lines. Here observe this. For example, this L1 is meet at A, L2 is meet at A, L1 is meet axis at B. So this is L1 is making an angle alpha with the positive direction of x-axis. That's why tan alpha is equal to slope of L1, that is called M1, right? Here proof. Here L1 is equal to 0 and L2 is equal to 0. B, any two lines, two non-vertical lines, any two non-vertical lines intersect at P. Intersect at P. Theta and phi are the angle between the two lines. Theta and phi are the angle between the two lines. Theta and phi are the angle between the two lines. Here L1 makes an angle alpha in the positive, that is anti-clockwise direction, in the positive direction of x-axis, that is tan alpha equal to M1, slope of the line L1. Tan alpha, if alpha is the inclination of the line L1, then tan alpha is the slope of the line L1, that is M1. Same, L2, next step, makes an angle beta in the positive direction of x-axis, that is tan beta is equal to M2. Tan beta, this is L2. L2 making an angle beta in the positive direction of x-axis, that the slope of L2 is M2 is equal to tan beta. Here PAB is a triangle. Observe this figure. PAB is a triangle. So beta is the external angle. So external angle is equal to sum of the opposite two angles. Yes, right. Next step. From triangle PAB, beta is equal to theta plus alpha. Beta is equal to theta plus alpha. External angle is equal to sum of the opposite internal angles. From this, theta is equal to beta minus alpha. You bring alpha into this side. Theta is equal to beta minus alpha. Taking tan on both sides, tan theta is equal to tan of beta minus alpha. Tan theta is equal to tan of beta minus alpha. That is, tan theta is equal to tan of A minus B formula. Tan beta minus tan alpha by 1 plus tan beta into tan alpha. Tan theta is equal to tan of beta minus alpha. From trigonometry, tan of A minus B is equal to tan A minus tan B by 1 plus tan A tan B. Like that, tan of beta minus alpha is equal to tan beta minus tan alpha by 1 plus tan beta into tan alpha. That is, tan theta is equal to tan beta is M2 minus tan alpha is M1 by 1 plus M1 M2. Tan theta is equal to M2 minus M1 by 1 plus M1 M2. That is angle between the two lines. Here, phi is also angle between the two lines. We are taking theta. Theta is the angle between the two lines. Phi is also angle between the two lines. So here phi is equals to 180 minus theta. Phi is equal to 180 minus theta. Total angle on a straight line is 180 degrees. That's why theta plus phi is equal to 180 degrees. Phi is equal to 180 minus theta. Tan phi, yes, continuation. Tan phi is equal to tan of 180 minus theta. Tan of 180 minus theta. Yesterday we discussed 180 minus is the second quadrant. Second quadrant lo tan is negative. Then you get it minus tan theta. Tan phi is equal to minus tan theta. Tan phi is equal to minus tan theta. So tan phi is equal to minus, what is the tan theta? Already we proved here. Tan theta is M2 minus M1 by 1 plus M1 M2. M2 minus M1 by 1 plus M1 M2. That is tan phi is equal to, multiplying the minus inside the bracket, you get M1 minus M2 by 1 plus M1 M2. M1 minus M2 by 1 plus M1 M2. This is tan theta. Theta is the angle between the two lines and phi is also angle between the two lines. So one is acute angle and another is obtuse angle. So tan theta is equal to M2 minus M1 by 1 plus M1 M2. Tan phi is equal to M1 minus M2 by 1 plus M1 M2. From these two equations, for example, you consider this is 1 and this is 2. From 1 and 2, tan theta is equal to mod M1 minus M2 by 1 plus M1 M2. You put the mod. You can use only one formula, that is, you make it as a mod. Why mod? For example, mod x is nothing but plus or minus x. That's why this is plus value. For example, this is plus value. You take minus. That's why this is minus value. That's why you make mod. That is a plus or minus. For example, if the question is asking, find the acute angle between the two lines, you take positive. Here you get the value, you take positive value. For example, they are asking, find the obtuse angle between the lines. Here you get the value, take minus. For example, after completion of the formula, you get mod 5 by 2. They are asking acute angle between the two lines. Direct answer is 5 by 2. They are asking obtuse angle between the two lines, minus 5 by 2. That's. So therefore, from 192, tan theta is equal to mod m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2, where 1 plus m1 m2 is not equal to 0, where 1 plus m1 m2 is not equals to 0. If any two lines are intersecting, the angle between the two lines, we get two angles. One is acute angle between the two lines and another is obtuse angle between the two lines. That's why we make mod. Formula is using this. You can substitute here. For example, m1 is 5, m2 is 3 is given. You substitute here 5 minus 3 or 3 minus 5, like that. We required acute angle, you make plus. You required obtuse angle, you make minus. That's angle between the two lines. Very, very important theorem in PUC first year. In PUC first year level, very, very important theorem. If two lines are parallel, for example, observe this. If two lines are parallel, what is the angle between the two lines? If two lines are parallel, what is the angle between the two lines? If two lines are parallel, they are not intersecting at any point. If two lines are parallel, they are not intersecting at any point. That's why angle between the two lines is 0. Angle between the two lines is 0. Right, note. If two lines are parallel, note, if two lines are parallel, then the angle between the two lines is 0 degrees. They are not intersecting. That's why they are not intersecting. That's why the angle between the two lines is 0. If two lines are perpendicular, then the angle between the two lines is 90 degrees. If the two lines are perpendicular is like this, so angle between the two lines is 90 degrees. Right, that point also. Second point. If two lines are perpendicular, this is the first point, and second point, if two lines are perpendicular, then the angle between two lines, is 90 degrees. If two lines are perpendicular, then the angle between the two lines is 90 degrees. So that is angle between any two intersecting lines. Next, we want to discuss the important concept of locus. Locus concept, but locus concept is not given in the PUC level, but it is very useful for mains level. That's why it is useful for problems. That's why I'm discussing simple concept, locus. What is meant by locus? For example, A is any point, x1, y1 is any point in a plane, and B is another point in a plane, x2, y2. I define a property, I given a condition, or I tell that it is a condition. I given a condition, a point P is moving, that is the general point, this is x comma y. A point P is moving at equidistances from A and B. P is moving, I'm giving one condition, is what is that condition is, the point P is moving equidistance from A and B, that is from A, from B, same distance. And this point is moving here, measure same distance, A and B. This point is moving here, same distance, 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 moving here, same distance. Then these points add. Then we get a line. This line is called locus of this point. This line is called locus of this point. Here I define a well-defined property. What is that property? A point P is moving at equidistances from A and B. P is here, then PA is equal to PB. PA is equal to PB. P is here also, PA is equal to PB. P is here also, PA is equal to PB. Like that, the set of these points, this point is moving like this. The set of these points is a straight line. This straight line is called locus of P. Locus of P. So what is the definition of locus? The set of points in a plane, just wait, the set of points in a plane which satisfy the given well-defined property or given well-defined geometrical condition. What is the geometrical condition? PA is equal to PB. That means equidistant from the fixed points A and B. Equidistant from a point P is moving, equidistant from the fixed points A and B. This is the condition. So this point is satisfies this condition. The set of these points is called a locus. Right definition? Locus. The set of points in a plane the set of points in a plane, the set of points in a plane which satisfy the given geometrical, which satisfy the given geometrical condition, is called locus of the point. The set of points in a plane which satisfies the given geometrical condition is called locus of the point. Example, you draw this figure. Draw this figure. Here, given condition is PA is equal to PB. Here given condition is PA is equal to PB. Example 2. Example 2. C is the fixed point, P is the moving point. You copy this example also, figure. Here, given condition is CP is equal to R. CP is equal to R. C is the fixed point. If a point is moving which is equidistant from the point C, C is the fixed point. A point P is moving which is at a distance of R units from C. For example, P is here, here, here. They measure a distance from C. We get the distance is the same R. A constant distance R. For example, here locus is a circle. Here locus is a straight line. Here locus is a circle. Here locus is a straight line. This is called locus. The set of points in a plane which are satisfy the given geometrical condition is called locus of the point. Sandeep? For example, here you take some point 1, 2, B is some 1, some 2, 3, P is you take general point X, Y. What is the general condition? PA is equal to given condition. PA is equal to PB. PA, distance between the 2 points, root of x2 minus x1 whole square, that is x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square is equal to PB, root of x minus 2 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square. Squaring on both sides, roots are cancelled. Then you get x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square is equal to x minus 2 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square. Squaring on both sides, roots are cancelled. Then expanding this, x square minus 2x plus 1, a minus b whole square formula, x square minus 2x plus 1 plus y square minus 4y plus 4 is equal to, here x minus 2 whole square is x square minus 4x plus 4, y minus 3 whole square is plus y square minus 6y plus 9. Observe both side x square cancel. Both side y square cancel. You bring all the terms at one side. For example, you bring all RH terms into this side. Already here minus 2x is there. You bring minus 4x into this side, plus 4x. Already here minus 4y is there. There minus 6y, that is plus 6y. Here constant 1 plus 4, 5 plus 5. There constant 4 plus 9, 13. 13 you bring here, minus 13 is equal to 0. Here minus 2x plus 4x, 2x. Minus 4y plus 6y plus 2y. Plus 5 minus 13 minus 8 is equal to 0. So what is this? A straight line. So from the given condition PA is equal to PB, the locus of the point P, we get the straight line. Here, for example, apply here the condition. If you take C is any fixed point, and R is the distance, fixed distance, some anything distance. You can apply here. Here also you get the circle equation. Here you get the circle equation. So tomorrow we will continue the class. Same concept I am discussing again, and more examples.